Okay, on this week's BartenderHQ.com podcast, we have Jen Foley from Casa Agave and 400 Rabbits and all that kind of stuff. Hello, Jen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, very good. Just back from holidays, so hot and now cold again. But yes.
It's always the way when coming back to England, isn't it?
Absolutely.
No matter where you go.
Absolutely. So, Casa Agave, tell us, how did you get into tequila? Who is Casa Agave? What was 400 Rabbits? What is 400 Rabbits? Go.
So, at the very beginning, when James was thinking about 400 Rabbits, he was quite innocently just thinking about filling a gap in the market. There wasn't much thought at the start, but then it kind of grew and grew because he begun to take masterclasses and learn a lot more about the history and the traditions and things. And before even opening the doors, he began to get really passionate about it. And the name 400 Rabbits is actually from ancient Aztec mythology as well. More on that later. It kind of grew from there. And with that passion, it's just grown throughout the years. We've had it for 3 years now. And it's still, it's running really well. In terms of Casa Agave, it was a thought between just the two of us last year where we were looking at the back bar and we thought it would be so nice for us to decide ourselves what we bring in and what we promote to people and promote to the UK. Because over the years at 400 Rabbits, we've noticed the interest definitely growing and people beginning to come in and asking us questions and wanting to know more. And it's just fantastic to see that. And so, yeah, it was a thought in the background, but we didn't really think much more of it because we thought we're stuck at the bar, like we can't really get out and start a brand new business that we have no experience in. So things, the business just continued growing. And then at the beginning of this year, we realized that we could actually take that step back from the bar, and we had more time to go ahead and start this new business. And that's kind of the birth of Casa Agave. We're about 3-4 months old now, so still a baby, still teething, but it's getting there and getting there quite quickly, which is really nice. Really fulfilling.
Awesome. And 400 Rabbits has got this huge kind of following in Nottingham and sort of across the Midlands in general. It's sort of become a bit of an establishment now, isn't it? And obviously it's great for me because you were one of the accounts that I was working with when I was doing the sales roles and things like that, so I got to come and see you quite regularly, and seeing you now moving into doing this yourselves is just awesome for me. I think you guys are doing an incredible job, and you've sent me out a little care package as well. So we've got some of these copitas, which are got the little rabbit head inside there, which is really cool. We really like those, and we've got some things to taste as well, which is always my favourite part of these.
Absolutely.
So do you want to talk me through a little bit of how the range came together and how you chose what you did? Because I know I've seen some pictures of you guys out in Mexico. Did you go and actually handpick these products?
Well, to be honest, we didn't have much time while we were in Mexico. We were there, excluding the travel time, we were there for about 10 days, maybe a bit less than that. So we were quite rushed. So we arrived in Mexico City, and then we had to travel really fast to Oaxaca to actually make use of the little time that we had there. And that's the birthplace of mezcal. That's where you've got to go to start with, and then you can kind of grow outwards from there. But yeah, I think in total we spent 5 days in Oaxaca. And when we were deciding on the brands, it was because of that short amount of time that we were going to spend in Mexico. We did a lot of social media research and things like that. So it was very much a case of, we like the sound of that. We've looked at some reviews from America, and it's worth, getting in touch and seeing if we can see the distillery and meet the people behind it. So yeah, it was very much down to social media. But now I think in future, when we're growing, when we begin to grow, we will go over and actually make more more natural friendships and work relationships with them, I think.
Brilliant. And so now I know there's been some sort of changes just recently. They've kind of formalized a bit more what mezcal is technically and things like that. There's always been that phrase of every tequila is a mezcal, but not every mezcal is tequila. Is that actually true now with what they've changed the wordings and things? Because I'm sure there's different states that produce one and not the other and things like that.
Absolutely. For tequila, there are 5 states in Mexico where you can produce tequila. Tequila is actually essentially a mezcal. It's a cooked agave spirit. And for mezcal, there were 8 states. As of yesterday, they added 2 more.
Wow, we definitely timed this well.
I know, yeah. It's a very exciting day. So up until yesterday, no one from those states. It was Edomex, which is the state of Mexico. That's where, not to be confused with Mexico itself.
Yeah.
So up until yesterday, they would never have been able to bottle or produce tequila or mezcal officially. But since yesterday, they can. So, hopefully we're going to be bringing some things over, make some contacts there, and actually get the first taste of what they've been making there for years, but keeping it in their community.
Yeah, getting there quick.
Yeah, quite exciting time. I know, yeah.
Elbowing people out of the way.
That's it. Gonna have to go back to Mexico soon.
Oh, any excuse.
I know, it's a hard life.
It really is. So you spent some time over there. You met some producers, and then what was kind of your next steps? Obviously, you set up some kind of relationships with these guys, and I'm guessing that they're bottling stuff already to sell into the US market.
Yes.
How do you then get it over to the UK, or what happens next?
Well, it's a mix of things, and like I said before, it's completely new territory for us two here. Because so every day it's a new learning curve, it's a new experience. Basically, we don't really know what we're doing yet, but it's very exciting. And then in terms of bringing things over, we work with multiple people who have had contacts in the UK before, or in Europe. And so we work with them to kind of bring it from Europe to the UK, which makes it a lot easier in terms of distance and time at the moment. And then by the time we grow a bit more, then we'll be able to make that direct link to Mexico and back. We're working on that. It's a slow progress at the moment because there's so much other things going on as well. Where you know better than I do what the roles of a rep is, because that's essentially what we're doing. We're advertising these brands. So traveling around the country. As of next week, I'll be away for 2 weeks. Just trip to the south here.
Wow.
So, I'm going Worcester, Bournemouth, Southampton, Portsmouth, London, and then back again. And then after that, go up north perhaps. And then working on the website and trying to get out there on the social media, because we've noticed that is a really huge platform to actually get interest from people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even those who don't know much about it.
Yeah, and we'll definitely give out all of your social media handles and things at the end of the podcast. But right, let's have a look at some of these products that you've sent me tasters of over.
Absolutely.
So where would you like to start? So we've got Animus Espadin. We've got
Animus Espadin, yeah.
Creencias Blanco.
Yeah.
We've got La Medida,
yeah.
Espadin as well, and La Medida Arroqueno, I'm gonna say. Arroqueno. Okay.
It's okay. So the bottles are all here.
Cool.
I recommend you starting with the Creencias, the tequila.
Okay.
and then working your way through the Animas, through the La Medida to the Animas.
Okay.
That one.
So let's pour a little bit of this. We've got a proper little tasting glass here. ISO, because I've done a Wessex course once. So I know it's important. And I've got my my Kraken rum spittoon. Which is one of their lovely tiki.
I'm not sure if I sent you enough to fill that, but
No, not quite. That's fine. So, let's have a quick chat about this one. So we're starting off with the Creencias.
Creencias. So here it is, beautiful bottle.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it stand out for me is it's produced by women.
Okay.
So what happened was the recipe was passed down from father to son for generations and generations. And then the grandfather of the current producer, he didn't have any sons himself, but she really wanted to keep it alive because she realised how brilliant it is, and she wanted to get it out there, which is when she then decided to make bottles and send them out. And so that's kind of the story behind Creencias. Everything about it is completely organic. So this right here is agave fibre.
Mm-hmm.
Agave fibre here for the thread. This is vegetable ink. The glass is recycled. So everything from planting the agave as well to harvesting it, everything is sustainable, ethically sourced. And they do take pride in caring for the environment as well, which is really wonderful to see, because there are so many big industrial brands out there that kind of swallow that all up. Mm-hmm. So it's wonderful to see such a brilliant tequila. But yeah, try it. Tell me what you think.
I mean, we did actually put an article up about a couple of days ago about diffuser tequila. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We'll deep dive a bit more into that, I think.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll leave it till later then. It's a very interesting subject, though. It's Fort Knox, almost.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very secretive, although, at least with people like Sauser, that we shared the image of their diffuser, it's all down there on their website, and at least they're talking about it and saying this is what we're doing and not trying to keep it a secret like some.
Yeah. I think that's what you've got to do if you use it. Just say so. Yeah.
Okay, so this is super smooth. There's no bite to this at all. It doesn't hurt.
It's so nice, isn't it? It's ridiculously smooth. It's too easygoing almost. I think it would be very easy to polish off the bottle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got to be careful because you really need to enjoy these products. It's not a matter of necking them back and having a party and binge drinking. It's actually, there is so much history to it, so you really need to kind of savor each sip and
absolutely
let it take you on that ride, because you do go on a journey when drinking any kind of mezcal or any agave spirit. It does do something to you, which is inexplicable.
Yeah. So in terms of production with this, is it autoclave for this one, or is it brick ovens?
So it's yes, brick ovens.
Okay.
And they try to keep it as natural, as authentic as possible. So they step away from the industrial technologies.
Yeah.
All their own agaves as well, which makes it stand out a bit more from other tequilas as well, because a lot of them are bought in. The liquids, and then just produced at the distillery.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. Super smooth, and it's quite earthy still, isn't it?
Yeah, it's natural fermentation as well. I think that's partly the reason why it's got that character. But yeah, it's just a fantastic product. That's not much more I can say. It's so delicious.
Great stuff.
I recommend it. Yeah.
So that's number one, right? Where are we going next?
Number one, kind of eases you in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some pictures recently, so you can have a look at what the agave looks like.
Brilliant.
This is a Tequila Weber.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of your sketches coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're thinking about doing something with the menu at 400, so we've kind of started doing some pictures and getting it, a bit more personalised.
Very nice.
So yeah, then we're going to move on to La Medida.
Yep.
Starting off with the Espadin.
Okay.
And then moving on to the Arroqueno.
So, I've got my little sample here.
Yeah. Lovely. So this one is made by Panfilo. There's a picture of him on the back of the bottle. I'll just
cool.
He's this wonderful, wonderful little man. He comes up to about here in height.
Right.
And he's this sweet, sweet man. He's ancient though, and he still works every day a week to produce this magical stuff. And it really, the beauty of mezcal is that every single little step matters. So may that be in the production of how they produce it, but not just that. It's about the care that they put into the agaves when growing them, and all the subtle things that you don't really think about. What water you use in the production, etc. It all comes out very much in the flavour at the end, and you can, I think with this one in particular, you can definitely taste the passion and the love behind it, that he has for it.
Okay.
I think he's 79 years old or something, and he still works like 7 days a week.
Amazing.
To produce this. But you wouldn't do that if you didn't love it, you know. No. When we were over there and we met him, we were like, do you not take a break? Do you not want to? And he said, no, this is my home. And it's just beautiful, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right, let's tuck in. What should I be tasting here and smelling?
Well, you know what? I really don't like actually telling you what you're going to be tasting, because everyone has a different nose, different palate.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather hear what you say, and then I'll tell you what I actually get out of it. So taste-wise.
On the nose, I've got blue cheese. I really like that kind of Stilton-y blue cheese that you get from some of these.
Yeah. See, I get that in the flavour. I don't get that in the nose.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of blue. Yeah. In the back.
Right. There's nothing that people enjoy more listening to than mouth sounds. So we're just going to enjoy this for a moment.
I'll talk over you then. Yeah. So with this one, it's I think the way that they've bottled the La Medidas is brilliant, because for me the colours actually represent the flavour that I get from it. So purple, for me, that means kind of sweet and fragrant, and that is exactly what I get out of the taste and the nose. It's very easy. Again, it's wonderfully delicious, and I really recommend it for anyone who has never tried mezcal before, because it's a very nice introduction without being overbearingly, smoky or peaty and all these typical things you hear about mezcal.
No, there is. When you say peaty, there is definitely a kind of almost a Lefroy kind of thing to it, but it's not that harsh, astringent kind of feel that you get quite often from the other side. But I really like that actually. It's super smooth, and it fills your mouth as soon as you take a sip. It's just all over there, and it kind of grows. It's really good. Cool. So. What are we on to next?
Later, otherwise I'll definitely join it.
So we're on the other La Medina?
Yes, so this one's the Arroqueno.
I was definitely going to let you do the name that time.
So that's the Espadin.
Okay.
So very similar to the Tequila Nueva. This is basically the parent of Tequila Nueva.
Okay.
Which is used for tequila. And now Arroqueno, again, looks similar, but slightly different. So that's the Arroqueno.
Okay.
So the leaves are a lot thicker, and it's a huge plant. The Arroquenos take between 15 to 25 years to mature.
Wow. And that's compared to like 8 to 12 for the Blue Weber?
Yeah. So, Blue Weber, it varies between, I'd say, at least 6 years to approximately 9. Espadin is at least 9 years.
And that's unless you're going to chuck it in a diffuser, obviously.
Well, yeah, there's that. But yeah, even the Espadin, they grow really, really big. And it would, once mature, it would just about fit in this room. The Arroqueno is so much bigger. It grows at, I don't know, double my height.
Really? But I mean, you're not a tall human.
That's true. Well, I say at least double my height. You certainly you feel humbled when standing next to them, because it's, well, you kind of understand why the Aztecs had this. They worshipped these plants.
Yeah.
And you definitely see one. They're just so grandiose.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Now this
this
smells completely different. There's
different.
Like, you wouldn't even think it's the same kind of spirit, the same class of spirit or anything.
Yeah.
And all of this as well, bear in mind, guys, these are all clear spirits, so these aren't barrel aged. There's no flavours coming from barrels, or we're not going to be getting any of those vanillas and the whiskey kind of flavours that you get with aged tequilas, and also, I guess, aged mezcals, although that's less of a thing, right?
Less of a thing, yeah. And for very good reason. The aging, unlike any other spirit, this is ready to drink once it's distilled. Even before it's distilled, actually, when you drink the fermented agave sap, that's called pulque.
Okay.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah?
Absolutely delicious. Very strange kind of texture. It's kind of creamy. It looks almost milky.
Yeah.
And it's a very thick, kind of gooey substance. Absolutely divine, though. It's just delicious.
Really?
But yeah, to make mezcal, you basically take the heart of the agave that you then cook down and crush before fermenting it and distilling it. They take a pulque agave and scoop out a bit at the top or cut into the leaves, and then a sap is revealed. It's called aguamiel, and then that is fermented. So where people get the idea to drink something originally back hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years ago, I don't know. It's really quite an interesting thought. Like, how do you think that you can actually distill this, or how does distillation work? It's a very odd kind of thinking, how you got from this is a plant that takes 15 years to grow. Let's cook it, see what happens, then ferment it, see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it all happened by accident.
Well, I know anyway. Elephants discover that they can get drunk from rotten fruit, so, anything can happen.
Yes. I love that, yeah.
Right, let's have a taste of this one.
Arroqueno. And again, for me, the colour of the bottle just says exactly what it tastes like for me. It's very herbaceous, very, just herbal, spicy, woody. Yeah,
it really is. It's like it tastes like a medley of different kind of cooking herbs almost, but it has got that spice level to it. But it's not like a heat, but it's really, really interesting. I know I'm terrible at tasting stuff and giving notes on this kind of thing, but thumbs up.
Absolutely, thumbs up. You're doing great. Well, the thing with tasting, it's always your own opinion. You can't really force that onto someone else. If you taste one thing, I might taste something completely different. For example, here, I get a lot of papaya and sweet fruitiness. A lot of people wouldn't get that. A lot of people would say, no, for me it's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
But it's everyone's palate. We're all trained to taste different things, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And that's what kind of makes it exciting as well, because you never really know how people are going to react.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. There's some great stuff here, and you've sent me over some information as well, which will get this onto the website. So if you want to have a look at any of these products yourselves, and obviously place many orders with Casa Agave, you certainly can do that. So we're going to move on to our last taste.
Yes. So this is the Animas. Beautiful bottle. Such great artwork. And that's, to be honest, that's the main reason why we got it in the first place. And it was the stroke of luck that it was just so incredible as it is. Now, the reason in particular I chose the Espadin as well, it's not. I want to prove and show to you that even if it's the same agave type, agave species, you're still, because of the terroir, where it's grown, how it's made, everything plays a role. And these two, Espadin, they are complete opposites.
Okay.
So just have a taste. Let me know what you think.
All right, pour my little taste. So just give us a little idea of where they are then in the country and comparatively, and how that would affect it.
Well, this is Mazatlan, so this is just outside of the city of Oaxaca, and actually very close to this one.
Okay.
They're practically neighbours, but they both pride themselves on wild agaves, using wild agaves, so they don't actually cultivate them in fields like you more typically would with tequila. And so because they're wild, they get so much more flavour from their surroundings. So, for example, if one agave grew next to a tree, for example, or next to a rock, each one, even though they're the same age and the same species, they're going to have different flavours. I remember a story that John Anders told me. You may know him, John Anders. Works for
the
Animas.
name. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. He did a tasting once at 400 Rabbits, and he told us the story, and it was just so beautiful. It was fascinating. He said that this producer, when he was tasting a batch, as you would, making sure that it's okay, and adheres to all the rules and certifications. He noticed there's something distinctly different about this particular batch, but he had no idea why. And so he had to go through the entire process. So making sure that the cooking was done right, the fermentation was done right, everything according to recipe. And he couldn't find anything that was different. In his head, thinking, oh, what could it have been? Like, I can't actually sell this out as the same product because it tastes completely different. Mm-hmm. And so he started looking at the fields. And where he was getting the agaves from for that particular harvest. And then he noticed something. He noticed that right by the river where some of the agaves were, there was a tiny little apple tree that had just begun to grow.
Right.
And that little baby apple tree had such an impact on the flavour of the agaves in the surrounding that batch was completely different to any batch before.
Wow.
Now, the sad part is he wasn't able to bottle it and label it the same way, so he kept it for himself.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the sad part here.
So basically, that tiny apple tree that was growing, entire field, that he couldn't sell that batch.
But he got to drink it.
Well, he probably did. He probably had a lot of fun with it. It's a shame for us, but great
Absolutely.
for him. But yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's got a real chili spice to it. A real heat.
See, I personally, I get so much more character, so many more flavor spices, but also almost botanical notes.
Yeah.
And mango and fruits. Juicy fruits. It's just ridiculously complex. This one. It's
huge.
So nice.
Huge amount of tropical fruits in there.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome.
Now this is as well a lovely little story. Let me tell you the story of 400 Rabbits, where it originates from. Basically, it comes, like I said before, it comes from Aztec mythology, and as we all know, they had gods for pretty much everything. And agaves were worshipped because they were such beautiful plants, and not just that, they were food. They could make clothes, use the leaves for their houses, thatched roofs. The juice they could drink. The needles they could use as weapons or for sewing or for tattoos. So it was really, this plant, had so many purposes, and they truly worshipped it. Now, the goddess of Agave, she was called Mayahuel, and she married an earth god of fertility. Now, around the world, rabbits have always been a symbol of fertility.
Yeah.
Very obvious reasons. So you've got the goddess of Agave and the god of fertility. 400 babies.
I see.
Yes. So 400 back in Aztec times was such an immense number as well. It just basically meant infinity. So
yeah.
So when these children were born, they were all in the shape of rabbits, but they had a very big duty, which was to guard and protect all the alcohol in the country, because it's all very sacred, and they had to, keep a close watch. But instead, they just drank it all themselves and had parties every night. So that's kind of the short version of 400 rabbits and the origin. When you drink an agave spirit, one of these rabbits will inhabit your body.
Okay.
And they will start to take over for a while. So for me, I think that's beautiful, and it also explains a certain buzz that you get from drinking agave spirits in particular. Because it's not just inebriation of any kind, it's a very special feeling, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because for me, it takes me back to the Palenque, and it kind of has that rural flavour, and all of a sudden in my head, I just travel to a different place, and it's a fantastic experience. But, everyone has a different idea on it. But I think the idea behind the rabbits taking over is quite a nice little idea. Now this Animas, that's the god who invokes the rabbit to take over your body.
Okay.
And so that's why it's almost a nod to the 400 rabbits. It's certainly acknowledging them and bringing them to life in you. So yeah, that's the main reason why we went for the bottle. It's such a fantastic product as well. It's
awesome. Brilliant. No, that's brilliant. Right, let's kind of wrap this up a little bit, and can you let everyone know where they can find you online, where they can follow your adventures through Mexico and everywhere else?
Yes, well, I write everything up, so I put everything straight on the website. Anything news related, you will find stuff on the website. The website is www.casa-agave.com, and we have bits on news, events that we'll be at, markets, festivals, etc. But then also any information on agaves, on tequila, mezcal, the production of it, and of course the shop. So we retail and we wholesale as well. The main idea with Casa Agave is to spread the love for agave spirits. It's that's very much the primary need. I think we want to transform the UK of the reputation that tequila unfortunately still has, coming from the mixtos and things like that. Has lingered over the years, and we want to kind of get people on board with what we're doing and share the love.
Absolutely. And they can find you on Facebook and Instagram and that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram. We started a YouTube channel, but there's not much on there. Twitter. Yeah.
Cool.
You can find us on pretty much everything.
I'll get all the links put into the show notes. So you can find it if you go to bartenderhq.com/Casa Agave, all one word, you will find everything that you need. Brilliant stuff.
Cool.
So thanks, Jen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for sending me some delicious tequila and mezcal to enjoy. And we will catch you guys again on the next bartenderhq.com podcast. Say bye.
Absolutely. Bye.